You don't want to watch this video. Seriously, you don't want to watch this video. That's what your flesh is saying to you right now. It's screaming, don't listen to this nonsense. Click to the next video. I'm the best part of you. I'm the only thing that's going to make you happy. That's how it works. That's what it does. But I'm telling you, if you want to make better decisions in life, you want to stop repeating the same old mistakes over and over and over again. You have to understand what's really influencing you. Stick around to the end. I'm going to show you 3 ways to overcome the influence that just now lied to you, telling you it's the best part of you. It's the only thing that makes you happy. So you don't need to hear this? No, you absolutely do need to hear this. When the Bible talks about the flesh, it's not just talking about your body, it's talking about your sinful nature. It's the part of you that resists everything that is good, everything that is godly, everything that leads to truth. Some people don't know God. Their flesh doesn't want to know God. So what they think is truth is simply the flesh consistently lying to them. They don't know real truth. Romans 8:7 says the mind governed by the flesh is hostile to God. It does not submit to God's law, nor can it do so. That means when the flesh is in charge, you're at war with God. The flesh is selfish, impulsive, loud. It wants what it wants, and it wants it now. It doesn't care how it affects your future. It doesn't care about how it's going to hurt you. It only thinks about one thing. What will make me feel good? What will make me feel good now, in the moment? Now. And if you let it, it will destroy your life. What's the most dangerous thing about the flesh? The next bit of info is important. Here it is. Don't go away. The flesh makes lies feel like truth. It doesn't pull you into sin. It wants to convince you that sin is God's will. And if you don't learn to recognize its voice, it will wreck your life. The real danger isn't in what the flesh wants. It's in how it tricks you into thinking what it wants is actually good. It doesn't just tempt you with sin. It convinces you that sin is right, that wrong is justifiable, and that your feelings are truth. The flesh doesn't just influence your desires. It manipulates your mind. It takes your emotions and makes them sound like God's voice. It takes your urges and makes them feel like divine direction. Galatians 5:17 says, the flesh desires what is contrary to the spirit, and the spirit what is contrary to the flesh. They're in conflict with each other. Let me give you an example. Imagine someone who makes a major life decision purely based on feelings, choosing a career because it looks glamorous, entering a relationship based on attraction alone, spending money recklessly because it brings a temporary high, or terminating a pregnancy because it's inconvenient. At first, it feels right. It feels justified. It feels freeing. But then reality hits. The career leaves you empty. The relationship turns toxic. The debt becomes crushing. And terminating a baby that grew inside you leaves you with pain, guilt, and a lifelong sense of loss. Why? Because the flesh lied. It promised happiness, but it delivered destruction. Jesus said it. Jesus said it best, and he's the one that kicked off this book. In John 6:63, he says, the flesh counts for nothing, and he meant it. So how do you win the battle that rages inside of you? How do you silence the loudest, most deceptive voice that's in your head? Here are 3 things you can do right now. 1, recognize its voice. The flesh sounds urgent, emotional, demanding. If a decision feels rushed or driven by impulse, that's a red flag. Slow it down. Number 2, feed your spirit. Galatians 5:16 says, walk by the Spirit, and you will not gratify the desires of the flesh. The more time you spend in the Word and prayer, the quieter the flesh becomes. And number 3, use time as your weapon. The flesh can't stand waiting, but time reveals truth. It gives your mind space to shift. Waiting allows your spirit to rise above the noise of the flesh. The battle between the flesh and the spirit, it's not going to go away. But if you want peace, clarity, and confidence in every single decision you make, you have to stop letting the flesh lead. In the next video, we're going to go even deeper on this subject. We're going to continue talking about the flesh, how to recognize it in real time, how it disguises itself, and how to take back control. Make sure you have subscribed and don't miss it. And if this message hits home, share it. Someone else needs to hear it too. Like it, and definitely subscribe so you hear the rest. It's important. You've listened to your flesh long enough. Now it's time to listen to God's Spirit.